Hey guys, welcome back. It's your girl Chantelli, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. I am back today with another message for you guys. Hope everyone is doing great today, and thank you guys so much for coming back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, thank you for coming back. And let's go ahead and get into this message. The message that I wanted to talk about today was called Accepting the Truth, or is called Accepting the Truth. Accepting the reality. And what I mean by that is that there are times in our life where we tend to either lie to ourselves or that we tend to not want to accept the reality of something that we know is the truth, that we know, that is the case, but we don't want to accept it. We lie to ourselves and we put this little fantasy in our head, or we also even heed warnings that we've been given from God about this person or this situation. I'm here to talk about how accepting the truth can be very hurtful, but it can also be very helpful if you allow God to show you the reason why this truth had to be revealed and why this truth is going to be, better for you in the long run. And it's going to be serving you a greater purpose and a greater good. Because sometimes, we want to see the greater good in people, the best in people. We always want to not think the worst in people. We want to just see, that they are not this person that, all these warnings that we've been giving. Or if, people that are close to you tell you, things about this person that they see from looking in from the outside, or, they just personally know this person and you just don't want to accept it. You just don't want to, put in your head that they are this terrible person or this person that's just not good for you, because we have this hope in us that, either this person is going to change, or either this person is, not that, and maybe you're just over worrying, anxiety, overthinking. No, because I personally dealt with this multiple times with people who were close to me in my life. And honestly, I always tried to justify their actions. I always tried to sit around and, just make it seem like that, they're going to change eventually. I always will hope. I have a lot of hope, a lot of faith. That's why I feel like, since I've been on this walk with God, he sees that I have that in my heart. I have a lot of hope and faith. And that's what I used to do in these people. Like, I would just have so much faith that they would change, so much faith that, they're not that kind of person that people make it seem like they are, or, from situations that we've been in, I try to ignore that it happened and just try to, put this reality in my head that, that's not the case. Maybe it was an accident. Maybe, they had a little oopsies and they'll change and make it better next time. But in reality, y'all, it just always plays out to be the same thing over and over and over. Like, it'd be like an endless cycle, literally. And, when you do that, you lose yourself. You lose yourself. Like, you start losing yourself and you start putting yourself in a, mindset of depression. And, you also put yourself in this mindset of getting comfortable of being, treated like that. With that person that you're hoping to change, who isn't exactly right for you or good for you. Even if it can also, it can also be like a situation that you're in, and it can turn out to be something where you steady keep staying in that same place because you don't want to accept the reality. You don't want to accept the truth. And, I feel like, when we accept the truth, we don't know how to handle it. We tell ourselves, well, man, how am I supposed to handle this? How am I supposed to cope with this? How am I supposed to, move on knowing that I was living a lie? That everything that I had put in my head, that everything that I hoped for, everything that I dreamed of and wanted was a lie because I didn't want to accept the harsh reality. I didn't want to accept the truth. What do I do then? What do I do? Like, you'll feel so lost. You'll feel like you are in a hole that you can't get out of because you've dug You've dug or digged. I'm sorry. It's one of those two words. Sorry. You've digged yourself in this hole so deeply and you just don't know how to get out of it. And that's when you got to go ahead and bring it to God. You got to go ahead and allow him to deliver you. One, I've talked about this in some other videos. If you want to go check it out, definitely go check it out. But you got to allow him to deliver you. You got to allow him to heal you. And you also got to allow him to allow yourself to forgive yourself for putting yourself in that situation, or forgive yourself for, allowing it to go on for so long because you didn't want to heed God's warnings. Because like I said, you are going to get warnings that you ignore. You are going to get all of this feedback from people looking in from outside. And sometimes, maybe not all people feedback are good. They could be jealous, or they not are the best people to listen to. You'll be like, well, who are they to tell me, what's going on with this person and this and that? No. Sometimes, if it's a lot of people telling you, then it's time to go ahead and just listen, because you're going to save yourself so much regret. I'm telling you, because if you keep on hoping, putting this fantasy in your head, because like I said, I know, because I used to do it. Put this fantasy in your head. Everything's okay. I'm just over worrying. They're going to change. I know they're going to change. I mean, we already came so far, or this situation has already been like this for so long. It's going to change. I'm just going to keep hoping, keep doing everything I can to, make them change, help them change. This is another sad reality. You can't change anybody. You can't. They got to want to change. If they don't want to change, then, that's on them. You can't force anyone or any situation to change. I've learned with my journey so far with God that you have to just allow things to just be in his hands. Pray about it. And if it ain't for you, don't force it. Let it go. Keep it moving. Keep it pushing. And allow God to, lead you, to deliver you, to heal you, whatever it is that you're going through, whatever it is that you feel like you can't get out of, or you keep telling yourself over and over and over again, well, I have to stay with this person. They're going to change. It was only a one-time thing that they did this, or two or three. That one time, it turns into a cycle. That one time that you thought wasn't going to happen again is going to keep happening, especially if you keep getting warnings, especially if you keep getting people telling you that this situation ain't going to change, or this person isn't going to change, and they see how they're treating you, and they see how that situation is not benefiting you. You have to go ahead and heed that warning, because those warnings are from God. And this is another scary part about not accepting the truth. If you don't want to accept those warnings from God that he's giving you, and, take them, actually to your head, to heart, and actually act on it, he will allow that person or that situation to continue to hurt you. Because he take it as, okay, well, I guess you want to learn the hard way. Like, he will literally let it continue on if you do not take those warnings serious. If you keep on letting the cycle keep going, like I said, this could be anything. This can be a situation that you're in. It can be a significant other. It can be a friend. It can be a coworker. It can be, someone who's not that close to you that you talk to, and you just keep getting this kind of vibe, or you keep getting this, this strong intuition that they're not good for you, and warnings and warnings. Like I said, if you're getting that, believe it. Because you can sometimes put yourself in a headspace where you second guess yourself and doubt yourself. Because like I said, I'm speaking from personal experience. That's what I always used to do. Second guess myself. Think, okay, I'm overthinking. I'm over worrying. These people, maybe they just don't want the best for me, even though it would be multiple people. Or I would just get signs like these warnings, and then, the person or the situation just, I would try to change it, and it just seemed like no matter what I did, I could not change it, because that situation wasn't for me. That situation was supposed to be removed. That situation was supposed to be, take this warning, heed it, and let it go. Allow God to deliver you. Allow God to go ahead and serve you to a greater purpose instead of keep trying to change this person or change this situation and not accepting the truth. Because when you don't want to accept the truth, you keep trying to change it. You keep trying to force it. You keep trying to go ahead and make something happen that's never going to happen, because that's not the reality of it. You have to start seeing it through the eyes of God. You have to allow him to give you that spirit of truth and allow it to just come in you. It's going to hurt. Like I said, one day at a time. Your girl still be dealing with it sometime. We're human. We're going to get our days. We're going to get those days where we just can't take it. Thoughts are just rumbling. We just can't handle it. We're just depressed. We're just, oh my gosh, I can't get this out of my head. That's when you pray to God the hardest and allow him to deliver you and allow him to go ahead and heal you and allow him to show you why it is that he gave you those warnings, why it is that this situation was never going to change, and why it is that this person is no longer going to be in your life. And I've talked about that in my last message, why God removes and he also replaces. And I just don't want whoever listening to this message or whoever is going through these situations to keep putting yourself in the same cycle for years for something that you can just look and watch this video now and take it to heart and just actually allow God to deliver you and allow God to get you out of that situation so you don't keep wasting your life away, wasting the greater good that you have for your life. The things that you can accomplish and achieve if you get your headspace out of this, they're going to change. I'm going to hope for changing them. I'm going to hope that they are going to get better. No, 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 no. Don't put yourself in that mindset. Please don't. Don't. I'm here to tell you to take that warning serious, whatever warning you got, whatever strong intuition you got, whatever, signs, signals that you've been giving, and you've gotten it multiple times now. Like I said, God only going to give you so many warnings. Like I said, of what it is that you need to do. It's up to you to take it serious. And if you don't take it serious, he going to keep allowing it to happen. But he also will have a way for you to get out of it. There will always be a way for you to get out of it. Always. Always. There's always a way. Anything is possible with God. All things are possible to God who strengthens me. So I love you guys. That's the message I got for you guys today. If you're new here, subscribe. If you haven't yet liked the video, definitely like it so we can get this message out there to people who needs to hear this, because it's people who need to hear this. I wish I would have heard this when I was in those situations or with these people who weren't exactly right for me. And I just kept trying to make it something that it wasn't. But when that reality comes to you, when you start accepting that truth, you really start seeing things for what it really was. And then that's when you got to go ahead and allow God to get you right one day at a time. Like I said, one day at a time. Walking, honey. You walk. You're walking with God one day at a time. And also share this message, please, so we can go ahead and get this out here, y'all. Because I want people to not be put in this situation of not accepting the truth and trying to make it into this fantasy. Because you can live in that fantasy for years. But you really need to wake up. You got to wake up. So I love you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video.